Hello and welcome to Monoglossia. Today we'll be talking about language proficiency exams and about Greek in particular. I'll be taking the A2 level of an exam called, I really have to read this, Πιστοποιητικό Επάρκειας της Ειρηνομαθίας. I hope I got the accents right, because even though Greek is amazing in that there is a stress mark in every word, it's not there when it's all caps, and this was written in all caps. So anyway, I'll just remind you, if you want to go back and watch a video where I talk about my language certificate collection. Also, earlier this year, as a part of my New Year resolution to take some language certificate exams, I took a Russian exam, and now in May 2023 I'll be taking a Greek proficiency exam, level A2. I started learning Greek actively 2 years ago. Actually, you can practically follow all of my progress here on this channel, as I've been posting all of my lessons with my wonderful teacher Katerina, so please subscribe to her channel as well. I've been taking 40-minute lessons once a fortnight for the past practically 2 years. I don't think I have officially covered the material for A2, so it is a little bit of a challenge, but I think it should be fine. I have been occasionally complementing my studies with some extra materials that I recommend. Actually, this is not very practical because it's a book that's particularly designed for Bulgarian speakers that are learning Greek, which is, it's kind of specific, but I've really been enjoying this. It's just a book of dialogues, and I find it very enjoyable to just read conversations, sometimes quite random, and learn vocabulary and make out grammar from them. Also, after I signed up for this exam, I've been reading texts on a phone app called Flower. You can download Flower. There are some texts in several languages, I think 8 languages, and one of the languages is Greek, and it is very nicely structured. You see the sentence in your language, I mean, for example, like English, and then you see it in the language you're learning, and you can highlight particular words or phrases to get their translation. Something else, another resource that I'm going to mention, is a playlist on YouTube by Transfer Learning. So you can search for Transfer Learning Greek. It's a very interesting method. I don't have time to discuss it in detail, but maybe for people who like grammar in particular, I think it works pretty well. So let me tell you the story of signing up for this exam. I noticed that it takes place just once a year in May, and knowing that I would be in Japan, I knew it wouldn't be very straightforward to take it, but then I thought, if I don't do it this year, then I have to do it in a whole year, and I kind of didn't want to wait, and I don't know what I'll be doing next May. I don't know if I'll be learning as actively or I'll be busy with something else. So I found one single test center here in Japan. It's in Tokyo. I'm quite far from Tokyo, I'm in Kyoto. And I got in contact with the organizers, asking if it was all right that, like, I'm a foreigner and my Japanese is not great. It was mostly just an occasion to get in touch with them, because it's not that I thought it would be a big problem that my Japanese is not great. I thought it might be a little bit of a hindrance while communicating with them. as everything was in Japanese. There were no English versions of instructions of the website, of anything. So they were happy to have me on board, especially after I paid the 15,000 yen at the post office, sending as well filled in like application form and questionnaire. This was so surreal. So there were two versions of these papers to fill in Greek and in Japanese. So I don't know which one I did worse with. I'm pretty sure I made some mistakes filling in my name, but it should be fine. So I signed up for the exam a while back, maybe in the beginning of March or end of February, and it was just yesterday that I received the official convocation. Like, yay! My Greek teacher kindly gave me a test for me to check my level, an A2 test, just to kind of to make sure I can deal with one. It was not easy, definitely, mostly because of vocabulary constraints. There are quite a lot of words I don't know and that I can't necessarily make out. Well, some words tend to resemble Bulgarian, which is always interesting. For example, here we have mirodίες, which I was like, that must be herbs, because it's a word we can use for herbs, but apparently it's just smells. More like spices than herbs, actually. Like the spices you put in food. The passing score is 60% for each section. The sections are, I have to double check, but I don't think there is writing. I could be wrong, like extensive writing. There is speaking, I think, and listening and reading. I've mostly been testing my reading, and even though it was challenging, I did get like solidly above the 60% that I need, so I hope it will be fine. It will probably be a bit of a challenge to make out words and expressions that I don't know. Actually, I took out, nerdy as I am, I took out all the unknown words I had in this exam. I wrote them down and I'm going to go over them, but of course there is absolutely no guarantee that they'll be the same words. It's actually certain that there won't be. But then there were some common words that it turns out I did not know, and these are going to be very useful. Of course, I will be happy to update you with information about the actual exam, as well as information about whether I passed or not when the time comes. As for now, I'm kind of excited to be going to Tokyo to take an exam. It will really be a matter of taking the bullet train, showing up for the exam, then taking the train back to Kyoto in the course of several hours. And the bullet train is probably going to be just as expensive as the exam itself. So I'm not looking forward to that, but I am very excited to be traveling to take an exam. So stay tuned. If you like this kind of nerdy language content, please subscribe to Monoglossia, hit the bell. I think that's the first time I'm saying this. Hit the bell. I never hit a bell on anyone's, like as a subscriber to anyone. And feel free to ask questions if you have any. And like the video. Thank you for joining. Bye bye.